Okay, what we're doing here is we're going to go ahead and wire into a panel here, electrical panel. Before you ever do this, make sure you turn off your main breaker outside so that you're not risking shocking yourself or anything. So you got your breakers that come down. What I'm going to do is I've got this breaker down here that I've already wired in for my basement outlets. I've got it marked here. I got one more set that I need to go ahead and tie you into that same thing as well. So when you bring your wires in through, make sure you give yourself a lot of extra wire there so that you can get that done. So you come up to here, cut back your wiring sheath there a bit so you can expose these wires. Go ahead and pull out your paper filament. So when these panels come through, some of them are different, but the basic concepts are all the same. If you can see right through here, all your ground wires, which is your exposed copper wire, they come down here, and there's a bar, a circuit bar. You can see where they're all tied into. And then on one side or the other, in this case this one's got both, the same kind of bar that goes down, that's where all your white wires will tie into. Just find an empty port on there that you can tie those into. And then your black's the one that's going to go to your breaker. So again, we're going to tie into the same breaker right here that I've already got for your basement outlets. To pop those breakers out, you just kind of push on them and they'll snap right out. Okay, so first things first, I want to go ahead and tie in my ground wire here. Try to find one of these that's open that we can tie into. There, let's see. I need a straight blade screwdriver. Go ahead and loosen that one up. Gotta measure to get that in there. Go ahead and cut it to length. Then we're going to bring that right back in there. Push into that port right in there. In there tight, and then just make sure you get those in there nice and tight so there's no risk of them slipping out. Okay, so I got my ground in. Next one I'm going to do is put in my white. Find an open slot there it can go into. Go ahead and cut that to size. Go ahead and strip this back. I'm using 16 gauge wire here. So you just find your notch here on your stripper wires. You want to strip back about 3/4 of an inch on that. You don't want to have any excess exposed that you don't need to. Try to get these in behind so you don't have a lot of excess sticking out. Find an empty port here on our white strip. Loosen that up so I can get that wire into there. And just slide that right in there. And I'll tighten it back up. Okay, got that one in. The last one in is we just got to get our hot wire, which is our black wire, wired in. What I'm going to do with this one, I want to bring my same wire, I want to put it down that same tube so that we cut little, as you can see here, all the different ones. They kind of leave a piece of the sheathing on here so they can kind of tell you which ones are going into. That's really nice when electricians will do that for you. So if you're ever trying to fix them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these both down so that they're equal. Strip them back. This one I'm going to actually strip back a little bit further because I'm going to actually tie the two wires together. Make sure we got a little bit better hold on that. pliers here. Okay, take these two. Twist those together. Okay, and that's just going to go right back in that port. On your breaker here, there's one screw on it. It's the only screw in there. That's where your black will go into. And then this other end, that's where it clips into the panel. And then your on-off breaker here. So we'll go ahead and loosen that up, get that black wire in there nice and tight, and then screw down this, screw on those wires, make sure it's good and tight, and then you're all done. So again, we got our ground wire tied into one of the ground bars, the white wire tied into the white bar, and then your black into your breaker. When you get all done, those just go right in there, and it just snaps right in. Like that. Since I don't have my outlets on yet, I'm going to go through and start wiring those in now. I want to make sure I leave this breaker off so when I'm going through and doing the other outlets, I'm not dealing with live wires. So everything else is on, that's fine. Just go ahead and leave that breaker off. We're all finished up, done. We can go turn the main power back on.